You're looking at the top side of a sole on a horse's foot. We actually drilled a drill bit through there, and we are going to learn a lot of things about this. We went to University of Kentucky. They gave us a bunch of different feet to choose from. I chose this one because it's middle of the road for bad-footed horses. These are thoroughbreds, just classic, thin walls, rolled heels, always tough for a farrier to to keep these horses 100%. As you can see, the shoe's a little bit short, so they can't rip it off while they're training. Now, what we did at the bottom of the shoe, you can see we drilled two holes right in the middle of the swedge. I'd say it's 3/8 of an inch from the end of the shoe, and that's to see where it goes through the sole or where the pressure point is on the sole. Pulled the shoe off, cleaned up the sole, put nails in so the shoe's in the exact same spot, and marked the sole. Now we took the same foot, and I'm going to shoe this thing as if it was a live horse, and just for soundness, try to get them a little more sound, and set the heel back and set it out. So your bulbs come off the ground, and the shoe moves out. And I'm looking to get it off the sole. Now we're going to drill holes to show where the pressure is in the center of the shoe, 3/8 of an inch back from the back of the heel. So we're taking a bandsaw, just going to cut into the hoof capsule enough to go through the hoof wall so we can peel it off. Now we've pulled the shoe, just going to clean it up a little bit. You can see the holes where all the holes are, the four different holes. That's actually blood because these feet came out of a freezer. Now we're just going to peel the bottom of the foot off the hoof capsule. There you go. Put the drill back right through where it was. Now that's where the nail on was. And there's where most of the pressure of that shoe, the heel of the shoe is on that foot. Now here's the live side of the foot, and you can see where the holes are once again. Now, in my world, I grew up in the standardbred world. There were all kinds of wall separations, and they all start in the sole, from concussion and just bruising that gets worse. Here's somebody's thumb. If you kept hitting that nail in the same spot repeatedly, you would have an abscess that would uh, come there. This is a thoroughbred shoe. You can kind of see where the shoe would be sitting. We three-quartered it. You can see how big the blowout is at the top. It's not a typical quarter crack. Quarter cracks only run down probably 2/3 of the foot, but this thing runs right to the sole. This is 4 days later, treating it with thrush buster, laced it. Gonna patch this thing, but this is just to show where this thing tracks to. You can see how big the blowout was up at the hairline. Another thoroughbred, I'm sure. You can see how big the area is that it blew out, but they all track to the sole. This happens over and over and over. I have seen thousands of these things. Another classic. As I said, grew up in the standardbred world, and those tracks are so hard, they are unforgiving. Now, you can see on the left-hand side of the foot, I have not trimmed the walls rolled over onto the sole. On the right-hand side, I trimmed it back right on the white line, and you can see the difference. Here you are again, one that's rolled over. There's a reason these things are three-quartered because they're not happy with a full shoe on them. But you can see how much actually trims, how much wall trims off from sitting over top of the sole. Now we're back to our original hoof capsule. You can see the holes. This foot shrank a little bit because all the moisture came out of it, but the hole still is showing you where your pressure is. That's the live side of the foot. So there's really no getting away from shoes that are set real tight, set way in. Some horses can handle it, some can't. Then we go to our glue-ons. These are the red and black, soft in the heel. Set them out, set them back is the goal. Black stuff in the middle, that's butyl tape, that stays soft all the time. So that's what rests up against the sole to keep the glue off of the sole with glue-ons. And here's a shoe that we cut out. It just shows on the right-hand side. That's the only part of the shoe that would have contact with that hoof capsule. So everything comes out their sole. That's my goal. Zero sole pressure. Love frog pressure, zero for sole pressure. And the other thing I do, I taper the heel of the shoe. It just seems to share the load of a sound horse will want to land on its heel. And that just helps them. This helps, that is for sure. And the other thing is how much this heel piece, the black part of these pads are very, very soft and they allow hoof capsule to move sideways and will also absorb concussion. And that's why these things work so well. If you like this, you can go to redandblacks.com. We have the wires and the drills, all that stuff for fixing quarter cracks. We apply those pads on steel and aluminum. So if you're interested, just look us up. And thanks for watching the video.